In the past few months, AI robots have been making huge strides. Today, we need to talk about one of the craziest things going on right now that isn't getting enough attention. I'm at the IROS meeting in Detroit to talk about Disney's AI robots. Disney Research showed off their newest invention, which is absolutely amazing. A small robot the size of a child that not only walks but also makes faces while it moves. You're seeing an emotional movie that feels like a Disney animated movie. It has its own sense of character, adventure, and wonder. It could be the blueprint for an R2-D2 robot, but the point is that Disney seems to be ahead of some of the big names in AI when it comes to making advanced robots that look pretty good. That's how I and other regular viewers learned about Disney's robot. In the field of artificial intelligence, this new robot uses cutting-edge new technology. It was completely 3D printed and made in less than a year. The team's choice to use off-the-shelf actuators, along with 3D printed parts, sped up the development process by a large amount, allowing them to change or tweak parts much more quickly than with traditional manufacturing methods. But that's not all. They also used computer models and a method called reinforcement learning to speed up the testing and planning phases. Disney Research has found a way to teach the robot's AI to move smoothly on slippery or uneven ground without ever losing its character. The robot can train and relearn its movements to adapt to small changes in its weight or how its motors work. Spread out or even how it works with the ground. Ruben Grandia, an associate research scientist at Disney Research, said that many of these motion transitions used to have to be programmed by hand. But with their new system, the robot learns these transitions on its own by simulating every possible situation and making small changes. It's like teaching a robot to learn from its mistakes and then use what it has learned. How knowledge works in real life as of now, Disney hasn't said for sure if park visitors will be able to see this robot in their parks, but I think they wouldn't make it just to show off the technology they're working on. The new Disney robot that this is so crazy is because it's not the same as some of Disney's other robots. You can see that Disney uses two different types of robots in its theme parks right now. There are two types of robots, animatronics and humanoid. Animatronics are mostly used for entertainment, like in theme parks and movies, and their movements and actions are usually pre-programmed or controlled from a distance. Humanoid robots, like Disney's new one, have artificial intelligence that lets them process data, learn from experience, and eventually adapt to new situations. They might also be able to adapt to changes in their surroundings and be taught or modified to do different jobs. While animatronics are more complicated and often look very much like real animals or characters, their internal mechanisms are usually pretty simple. This is because they are made to look and move like real animals or characters. However, these new AI humanoid robots can learn faster and do more. Having complex relationships, another cool thing Disney has done is get these robots to move around well. Another company that many people know has also made their robots move well is Boston Dynamics. You see, Boston Dynamics is a world-famous name in the robotics industry, and Atlas is one of their most famous projects. Look at the different ways that Atlas can move this body. Atlas was first shown on YouTube, where it went viral for doing many different stunts in a controlled environment. One of the first tricks Atlas was able to do was walking around on snowy ground. In the video, which has over 40 million views, you can see Atlas picking up very heavy packages. Even crazier, you can see it do it while it's moving. Atlas can respond to adversarial disturbance, which basically means that it knows when people move things around in its environment, and thanks to its clever programming, is able to move the object it was supposed to pick up and then pick it up. This Disney robot is really starting to catch on because people are starting to realize that Disney's robotics can work perfectly with AI. It's likely that Boston Dynamics will be miles ahead of what Disney is doing. But if we can skip ahead a couple of years, it wouldn't be surprising if Disney had some of the most advanced robots we've ever seen. Maybe even robots that were even better than the ones at Boston Dynamics. What Disney has shown off with their new robot is a perfect blend of robots that work well together. It shows feelings without affecting its ability to do its job. This method could be the blueprint for the future of robotics, where robots don't just do tasks, but also interact with us on a deeper, more emotional level. Here's an old video that was recorded at Disney's robotics research facility. It was posted on YouTube 4 years ago, which shows that Disney has been working on robot technology for a long time. You might think they're just throwing the robot around, but it sticks to the landing every time. I think soon it will be able to stick to the land fully, so it won't need this kind of box. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's really cool that Disney already has a robot named Spider-Man that does crazy jumps in their theme parks. It's really cool to watch. And then there's Judy, another Disney robot that's... At a recent Disney conference, people saw her do acrobatic feats and walk. Now I'm thinking, if this is what they're doing now, can you imagine where they might be a few years from now? It's surprising that an entertainment company has such an advanced AI and robotics division that competes with some of the biggest AI companies. In the past few months and years, we've seen other companies try to get a piece of the robots industry. We know that the industry could be worth trillions of dollars in the future, so companies are starting to respond. Turn their attention to lifelike robots. A lot of companies are working on robots in a lot of different ways. Some are using them for business purposes, while others are building. When it comes to entertainment, these robots are already being shown off at conferences by companies like Tesla. They've also recently let us know that the early results are looking good, and many other companies are also getting ready to release their own humanoid robots soon. The only problem many of these companies are facing is making sure that some of these AI robots are reliable. That do have their own separate if behavior managers make a big mistake. A lot of lawsuits could happen, which is something that these companies won't like. Right now, every company is trying to become the market leader in robotics. The industry is still too new to say for sure what will happen, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the world of robots. We have no idea where things will go. This industry will change quickly, just like the cell phone industry did in the last 20 years. The same will happen with the robotics industry as companies like Tease and Disney enter it. Who knows where we'll be in 20 years?